Good evening, and welcome once again to the Shadow Gallery. I'll be your host, James Donnelly. Um, yes, I'm in black and white. I've been transported back to the 1950s, hence the cigarette. Anyway, since I keep promising that I'm going to talk about it, I never really do, I figured this time around, instead of talking about comics, which I will in our next episode, we'll talk about games and gaming. Uh, for those of you who don't already know, I have an Xbox 360 and I have a nice new lovely PC. Um, and as far as those two systems are concerned, obviously I prefer the Xbox just because there's more stuff out there. And it's Xbox, so it rocks ass. Although there are times I think I would have preferred a PS3, and the main part of that is something that I'll get to in a little while. But as far as 360 is concerned, let's talk about some of the new games that I have and my time playing them and what they've meant, and also the PC gaming that I've recently gotten into because of a Christmas gift from my wife. So, without further ado, let's just get right on into it. Xbox. So, around Christmas time, or even a little after, I think maybe, I got two games that were on sale because of Christmas. One of them was EA's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the latest incarnation. First of all, if you're ever playing a high-speed driving game and decide that, or decide to either A, go for a ride, or B, if you realize, okay, I have to drive soon because I have to get somewhere, don't play a high-speed driving game. You know it's just going to get you into a shitload of trouble because you're going to think that you're going to be able to drive 150 miles an hour without any consequences. Anyway, Hot Pursuit to me was always one of the even when it was just back on computer, was always one of the more alluring styles of driving games that I've had because not only in most of the previous incarnations of this game, you've just played as the cop. Although this time you get to play as either a cop or a racer, trying to evade cops. And that's kind of what I dig about this game, is being able to play as the cop. Because you get these ridiculous cars to drive, and obviously it's a fun game. It's a lot of fun, except when you're fucking up, which is usually what I do, and then you wind up screaming. Now the hardest missions, because it's a mission-based game, the hardest missions of all in the game is you have to essentially beat the clock. In the cop version, where you have to be at a certain point without doing too much damage to your car before the suspect gets away. So that's a pisser. I'm not too huge of a fan of that. But the other, the ones where you actually get to engage the drivers and wreck them or run them off the road or whatever, that's fun. I like that. So with that in mind, as far as the other game that I purchased right around that time was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I first got the first Assassin's Creed game, I don't know, probably about 6 months ago. I got it through GameFly, and then immediately went out and finished that game, sent it back, immediately went out and bought it so that I could play it again. Also bought a used copy of Assassin's Creed 2. I don't really know why I'm mentioning this game, to be quite honest. Only because I love the mythology of the Assassin's Creed games. I mean, it's basically it's not as yeah, it's not as stealth based as I thought it would be, which was a big relief to me because I hate stealth-based games, which is why I really couldn't get into Hitman without using the cheat codes that I had for PS2 when I had those games, which you could basically turn invisible, and then you could do whatever the hell you wanted. That was more fun. Um, but sneaking around and shit like that, that just wasn't in the cards for me. But then I got Batman Arkham Asylum, and I started to get a little bit more into the stealth gameplay because obviously that game requires a great deal of stealth. Um, But and there are no cheat codes for pretty much any of the games on Xbox, which has always been kind of a suck for me. But because I said that I wouldn't buy one of the next gen consoles until they had like a like a code breaker or what the hell is that old thing that I used to have hooked up to my PS1? It was another cheat. It was like a cheat box that you just put in there, and if you want anything new, you went on the internet and you got new codes, and you had to manually put them in. At least with the code breaker disc that I had for PS2, you could just put a little thumb drive in there and upload the newest cheat codes. So that was nice. But so I haven't played that yet, but the Assassin's Creed games are awesome. I'm sure this one's going to be great too. I've also had the chance to. I also got Iron Man 2, the game, because hey, I figured it'd be fun to play as either Iron Man or War Machine on these missions that are peripheral in all ways to the films themselves. And that's kind of fun. It was I got it for literally like $5 with shipping from GameFly, and that was why I got it. It's because it was pretty much as expensive to buy it as it was to rent it. So what the fuck, might as well use it. And that's it's fun. The mechanics are a little hard as far as the flying around and stuff like that. But combat's pretty interesting, and it's fun to play as the different characters and listen for the voices that they got to play the different characters and so on. And right now I'm playing. Well, I've played for a couple hours. I played Crackdown 2. I did not play the first game, and I'm kind of seeing why I'm not really huge into the second game because it's just pretty much a button masher. It's open world, so that's kind of cool, and you get you rank up and you get experience points and all that kind of crap. But it's it's been there, done that, and in a number of different ways. So I mean, it's it's kind of interesting, but ultimately it's like, who cares? So I'll be returning that very soon. I don't think I'm going to even bother kind of playing it again. Now, in the next installments, we'll talk more about the PC games that I have now, and what those have been like. And we'll talk again more in just a few moments. So stick around. Be right back.